Risk, reward, probability, impact.
Welcome to the Service to Syndication podcast, where we interview the biggest and most successful real estate entrepreneurs, investors, capital raisers in the world who have worn the uniform of this great country, those who provide services to our men and women in uniform, and other service-oriented professionals to provide you with the tool sets, the mindsets, and the skill sets to help you conquer your dreams and goals in real estate and to use this wealth creation vehicle so you can live a more successful, happy, and fulfilled life of generosity and prosperity. If what you desire is time, lifestyle, and financial freedom, you've come to the right place. We will bring to you the best real estate entrepreneurs who will give you the insights, the knowledge, experience, skills, so you can go out and crush it in whatever real estate asset class you desire. So grab a pencil and paper, sit back, and enjoy the ride on the Service to Syndication podcast.
Hello, my servicemen and women and other service providers. Welcome to another episode of the Service to Syndication Real Estate Podcast. I am your host, Cedric Marlow. I am a U.S. Navy vet. Here on the Service to Syndication Real Estate Podcast, we interview the most successful real estate entrepreneurs, investors, capital raisers in the world, where most have donned the uniforms of our great country. We aim to provide the tool sets, the mindset, and skill sets for you to achieve your personal and business goals while using real estate as a wealth creation vehicle to help you live a more successful, happy, and fun-filled life. I am super excited today because I have with me Mr. Cherif Medawar, who is a top-notch real estate investor and expert. But before I properly introduce our guest to you, please, I want to ask a favor of you. If you get some type of value out of today's interview, if you get some type of insight, mindset shift, if you learn a new skill, new information, or receive inspiration or motivation to go out and take some progress in your life, please share this episode with some of your friends. Send it to someone you know who might be or could be interested in real estate. Share it on your social media, post it on your wall, and share it in your stories. Help us spread our message while you help others. And for all of you who share this episode, I want to say thank you. Again, I have with me Mr. Cherif Medawar. He is the architect of real estate empires for over 25 years. Cherif Medawar has been a force to be reckoned with in the real estate arena. His journey began in California, where he honed his expertise in residential properties within the Southern California and Bay Area markets. Cherif then set his sights on Puerto Rico to invest in retail, mixed use, Airbnb, and boutique hotels. He is the largest owner of commercial historic properties in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico since 2004. Cherif's ambition extends beyond building his personal portfolio. In 2009, he launched his MIGSIF, a Reg D 506B fund, his first real estate fund to capitalize on this success. He established the SFIF fund, which is Secured Fixed Income Fund, Reg D 506C, to identify and revitalize distressed commercial properties from retail to hotels. Both funds now invest in residential development in Florida and single tenant nationwide. Cherif doesn't just invest, he transforms through strategic acquisitions, value-adding renovations, and expert management, often by MIGSIF and its affiliates. Cherif breathes new life into underperforming assets. These properties either find new ownership or become cash flow generators within his portfolio. All right, Cherif, thank you, sir, for coming on today and being our guest. And listen, the first thing that I like to do with my guests, which is going to be hard for you for all the experience you have, is summarize your real estate journey in 75 seconds or less, and then we'll start to unpack all of that.
Well, thank you, Cedric, for the nice introduction, and thank you for having me. So real quick, my journey was in the hotel business. I wanted to be a hotel manager. I was working at the Century Plaza Hotel in Los Angeles. That was my goal. I just wanted to be general manager. I thought hotel business is a lot of fun. I grew up, my dad was taking us to hotels every time we celebrate something, and he owned hotels. So what happened is I met a billionaire in the name of Edmond Bessari in a hotel lobby. And that was in the early 80s. And he stopped me in the lobby, literally speaking. I mean, Century Plaza Hotel is a very nice hotel and it has movie stars, etc., staying there, etc. So he stopped me in the lobby one day and he said, Cherif, I have noticed that you work here from 6, 7 in the morning all the way till like 10, 11, sometimes even midnight. What are you doing? And I told him, I don't know if you noticed, I have a golden name tag. They identified me as a potential general manager. They told me if I work hard for 10, 15 years, I can become a general manager. I mean, I was 20 years old. He looked at me and said, are you crazy? They tell you what to do, what to wear, what to say, what to do, go on vacation. You need to work for me. I said, to do what? He said, I have real estate around the world. I don't want to travel anymore. I want to be in South France and I'll tell you what to do. I'll tell you what to say. Instead of getting excited, I got scared. I said, sir, I don't know anything about real estate around the world. I don't even know real estate in the US too much. And he said, look, I've seen you work hard. You come and do what I tell you to do. And you watch exactly how I'm doing it. After that, I'll launch on your own. It will change your life. You want to do it? You're at the right place at the right time. And he grabbed me by the shoulder and I said, okay. I had faith in God, faith in like, this is good stuff. I'm going to make the most of it. And sure enough, transformed my life because my first journey was with him for 8 years, doing these on his behalf, traveling, speaking on his behalf. I didn't even understand what he would tell me. He would say, I want you to go to Martinique, this French island in the Caribbean, and you tell that owner we're going to do tax increment financing. I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about. I'd have to call the accountants, ask him what that means, go tell the guy, and not be so worried about my age and whatever, like being so young. And then I saw how deals get transformed right in front of my eyes. Many of them totally creative with very little money, even though he had a lot of money with him. So I branched on my own 8 years later. I told him, I said, with your blessing, I want to go. And we had a laugh about it because he told me, 8 years you stayed with me. You labeled yourself as working in hotels. You were going to get stuck there. Then you labeled yourself working for Edmond Bessari. You were going to get stuck with me. You're a free man. Go and help others. Go do your own thing. So it was a blessing. You know, I think God puts in our path of life angels and a few devils. And as you become powerful, you take care of the devils. You get them out of your way, out of other people's way, and then you work with the angels. And he was an unbelievable angel in my life. And then I started with small deals. First deal was a duplex. Then I went into apartment building, then retail. And then I started teaching people. 10 years later, I started teaching in 1998 was my first time that I did a formal event. And then 10 years later, I set up my own real estate fund because other people wanted to invest with me. And that's my journey, really. Now I have my own portfolios and winding down a little bit, kind of having fun with the educational stuff and keeping my portfolio.
Wow. Now, I'm going to tell you, 99% of the people who are in real estate or start in real estate has never walked in to a billionaire to take them underneath their wing to get them going. What an amazing story.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. It's not like he was coaching me and like, hey, Cherif, I'd like you to go. He was a very tough and demanding guy. I mean, Harvard called him the man with two brains. My picture is with him in front of one of his castles on LinkedIn. I was 25 years old. If somebody goes to LinkedIn, put Cherif Medawar, they'll see my picture with him standing there. I was 25, he was 50 something. He was a legend. I mean, the guy just was unbelievable. And he was very low key, very honest man, smart working. Wasn't a hard worker guy. Like he would just come in to do the 20% of the 20% on a deal and then walk away and everybody else handles it. So yeah, you're right. There was luck in getting to meet him, but there was no luck in keeping my job and growing with him, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah. That's the part, you know, you can meet these people, but can you stay on to be with them? You got to put in the work, and that's with anything that you do. You know, you're a deal maker, you're best-selling author, real estate investor, fund manager, and let's not forget the most important job, being a father. Yeah. Where do you find the time?
You know, I believe it or not, I believe you create time. You truly create time because time is a kind of an abstract concept. So, and I'll give you an example of that. Let's say today, Cedric, you got a flight at 3 p.m. Okay. So, but you have these 10 things you got to do. You didn't know you had a flight at 3 p.m. You're going to do the 10 things in 2 days. All of a sudden, you put your mind to it. You got the flow going. You delegate. You put stuff, things on the side, destroy. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to delegate this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to delay that. Next thing you know, you have crammed in 4 hours what you thought is going to take a couple days. How is this happening? It's the principle of time and creating time and making things happen. And so it's order of priority, and it's not what is urgent and important. What's going to make me the most money right now if I'm dealing with money? But if my daughter comes and she wants to tell me a story, this is going to have to wait because my daughter is with me forever. And I have to sit down and listen and calm all that noise and the world outside and listen to her. This happened actually this morning. Okay, I had so much going on, and because right now in California, Puerto Rico is 4 hours Atlantic time, and I was getting some calls, and I said, guys, you handle it. I'm not going to talk to you till another 3 hours. I listened to my daughter, and we had a good laugh, took a picture of her going to school this morning, and then she left. And then I said, okay, my next priority is Cedric, and I'm with you. And that's just how you do it. Priority is being a good father. I mean, it's just how life is.
Yeah, it's very important. Family is very important because, like you said, and that's something that a lot of people don't think about. Your family is always going to be there for you.
Yes.
When the world and business is not there for you, they will definitely be there. Yeah, because I've met a specific gentleman, and he literally works pretty much almost like you were when you were at the hotel. But
Yes.
where he's even said that there are nights when he sleeps at basically at the office, and his family comes last in his life. And I'm like, whoa, hearing him say that, I was like, whoa, that's really, your priorities for people are just, different for everybody. But, with having losses in your life, and unfortunately I had to experience it, that your family is going to be there for you when others aren't. So, yeah.
Very true. Yes, very true. Well said. And I think also part of it is if you explain, like, I remember one time my son came in and wanted to talk to me. He was very young, and I was on the phone, and we were closing a deal with the fund. So I got the broker, I got the attorney and all this. And he comes in, Dad, like he wants to show me something, very excited. So these guys are on the phone. So I said to him, I put them on mute, and I said to him, I want to give you full attention. Can you just give me 10 minutes? He said, okay, I'm going to get everything ready. He was trying to show me a new toy that he had. So I finished my call, wrapped it up quickly. Then I went to him and he was ready for me. But the way I did it is I want to give you full attention. Not like, wait, I'm busy right now. No. I want to give you full attention. So let me finish with these guys. Like, they're not that important. I'm coming to you. So these are moments where I got to focus on what is the best way to handle this. And it's all in communication,
Yes. Okay. So as a best-selling author, what key principles from your book do you believe every investor should know?
Great. That the key principles are, you got to start. The hardest thing in the investment world is to start. That's the first hardest thing, because people say, okay, what do I do first? Well, first thing is build some credit. It's the easiest thing to do. You could be in the university, they already give you credit cards. So don't go and ruin your credit. Build the credit lines for yourself first. Then when you build the credit lines that you have on credit cards, etc., you got to start seeing who you can partner with that's already doing the deals where you can add value to them. Hey, listen, I will bring some money in the deal. I will monitor the deal. I will do this and that, and exchange value abundantly. Give and then you shall receive. It's not a take and give. It's a give and take. So then as you do that, you want to do something that flips assets, because it builds that cash that you have. So if you build the credit, partner with somebody to flip assets, no matter what the assets, usually residential is the best to wholesale and flip in the beginning. The number 3 thing is get into commercial with now the money that you have, where you can get it and add value. Because commercial buildings, you can buy them at full value, put them under contract at full value, increase the value, and then decide if you want to buy it or sell it. I'll give you an example. In my book, Blue Ocean Opportunity, commercial real estate is the blue ocean if you know how to do it. So I call it Blue Ocean opportunities in commercial real estate. It became a bestseller on Amazon because it's simple and it's exactly how I made tens of millions in the shortest period of time in my life. The book, I sell it at like $2.99 because Amazon wouldn't do it any less. But it's just not like I'm making money from it. It's just really showing the world, hey, there is a hope out there. And if you have hope and goals, you're staying positive and enthusiastic about life, the most important thing you need to conquer the world. Okay? So in the book and in my trainings, I show people how to find a single tenant building, like a standalone building. This is like a Jack in the Box or a McDonald's that became vacant. Big traffic in front of it. Good neighboring tenants. You call on that building and they want to sell it at, let's say, $700,000. And you say, listen, it's sitting vacant. You make an offer at $600, you put it under contract. When you have it under contract, you're not going to spend time doing due diligence, check the roof and the inside. No, you start getting a list of tenants and start smiling and dialing for national tenants. You call Subway, Quizno, Ben & Jerry's, Chick-fil-A and all this. All you need is one tenant to call you back or email you back and tell you, I'm interested in this, we're interested, we want to take it, and we're going to take it as a corporate store, or we're going to put a franchisee. Once they tell you that, you can code them, hey, I want $8,300 a month. So that's $100,000 a year. $8,300 a month times 12 is $100,000 a year. Once they sign the letter of intent and say, okay, we want to come in there because we like the traffic, the neighboring tenants, and we're going to do this and that, you now have a property under contract at $600,000 that now is going to bring $100,000 a year. When you have a national tenant paying you $100,000 a year or any amount, it's times 16. The value of the building is a multiplier. It's a 6% capital rate of return. 6% is 16 times the rent. So the building becomes worth $1.6 million. So you got a property under contract at 600. And now you have a tenant that's going to come and lease it for 10 to 15 years. It's going to be worth $1.6 million. You go to the bank, you can get the loan. The bank doesn't want to give you a loan without a down payment. You can get a partner. You know what? You can assign it to somebody else. I train people to do this. I show them how to find the right buildings, how to talk to the broker. I give them the proof of funds from my fund and my cash. I negotiate the deal with the tenants when they call, and then I pay them an assignment fee on the upside. They make $100,000 on that $1 million increase. It's 10% of the upside. 600,000 is the contract. 16 times is the lease we negotiated. And if the tenant signs for 15 years, I give them 25% of the upside. That's 250,000. And if you think I'm exaggerating the numbers, go on YouTube, look at my success stories. I have over 1,000 video success stories. I didn't become a largest owner of historic properties in Puerto Rico because of some whim idea. This works. I took the buildings in Puerto Rico and Old San Juan where the cruise ships arrived, got them under contract, called the big tenants. I talked to Tommy Hilfiger, I got Burberry, I got Coach, I got Sunglass Hut, Fat. We just signed up Fat Tuesdays last year. Unbelievable deal. I got the building at 700,000, that one. Got Fat Tuesdays in. It's worth $1.3 million. Okay, it didn't go $1.7 million, but that's $500,000 more. I didn't have to wait 10 years, 15 years. It was 45 days. They signed. So anyway, I got too excited. So the idea is, the next level after that, when you do couple deals, is set up your own fund. And I suggest always debt funds. Anybody that followed me, they know I structure people. I help them set it up because I know it's very difficult because the attorneys say, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You got to tell me because I don't want liability. So I train people how to set up their own fund. I take them literally by the hand. Here's how to start. Here's how to make money. Here's how to grow the money. Here's how to do the big deals. And here's how to set up your fund so you can tell people, I am doing these deals. Come and join me. So you make it easier for others. And you shorten your financial journey to have the biggest impact because money changes your lifestyle, changes your outlook on life. I get too excited about it, so I went on.
So you've completed countless deals. What are the top 3 characteristics of a winning commercial real estate deal?
Okay, so the deal has to make sense the minute I buy it. So if I say this is a good deal, that means I can take it right now. I can sell it for more right now, as is doing nothing. Worst case scenario, I can sell it right away. I can sell it creatively. It means sell it a little bit more and carry financing on the profit. Carry the financing, it means they will owe me. Let's say I bought it for 400,000. It's worth 500. That's a great deal to start with. I can flip it at 5. If they don't give me 500,000 cash, they can at least get a loan for 400 and I'll carry that 100,000 profit. That's a criteria of a good deal that I'm flipping. If it's a cash flow deal, I'm buying it and it's making me slightly more than my payments. So I'm having some cash on cash. But the key thing for that cash on cash with the cash flow is that there is an upside. I'm going to put a tenant. I'm going to put more tenants. It's a shopping mall. I'm buying an apartment building, but I'm going to split the units and sell upstairs as condo units, separate them, condo deeds, sell, pay the downstairs off, get a credit line. So it's got to make, number one, financial sense from the beginning. Number two, I have to realize that on paper, all real estate deals look good. I just want the reality. I want the worst case scenario. I want to make sure I have the least amount of debt, because debt will kill you. Okay. And I want to make sure, number three, that there is positive energy in that city. I'll give you an example of a failure deal. I went in the city of San Francisco for many years, done incredible deals. I went all the way to Billionaire Row. Billionaire Road have properties, you buy them at 10 million, put 8 million, rehab, sell them for 30 million. I mean, we're talking extra zeros on any deal. Lo and behold, COVID hits. Right after COVID, the market is on fire in 2021, 2022, interest rates go up, the whole city collapses. You have people that don't want to approve your deals. City planning office, 6 people went to jail because they got bribed, delays on all your projects. So the city, so I had great deals that I bought, huge upside, no doubt, but the third element wasn't there. The market wasn't there. So, and why wasn't it there? Because you had the city fighting you. And I hate to be a conspiracy guy, but people can Google this. When Tesla left, when Elon Musk left, that was the sign that, hey, the state of California is in trouble. City of San Francisco in particular is being taken over by politicians who want to actually do the deals for themselves. I have a deal, one of the properties on Broadway Street, right down the street from Steve Jobs' wife. She bought the property at 70 million. I bought 2725 Broadway. You go to the balcony, you can see Nancy Pelosi's house. You can see Larry Ellison's property. You can see Jean Paul Getty Trust next door. That property, they wouldn't give us, the city planning wouldn't give us the approval for the facade change and the inside to improve it.
Okay.
For almost 3 years. So we said, we got to sell it. Because I heard that this is happening on Market Street and this and that, all the big places. Well, guess who was buying? Nancy Pelosi. You can Google that. So when you have the politicians delaying the big developers, and next thing you know, the big developers are out, and then the politicians are buying, you start saying, okay, this is way over my head. That third element in real estate deal is not happening. And I'll take another city like Houston, where it's pro-business, Dallas, they're moving it along, Austin, Orlando, like Florida is pretty good in general, you know. But then the third element in Florida, you have to worry about hurricanes. We're doing developments there, a hurricane hit in October. It didn't affect our properties, thank God. But what happened is the insurance doubled. So when you're trying to flip the property, the next guy is saying, well, I can't pay you so much because my payment is higher because the insurance. So you got to pay attention to these three elements. And number three is what's happening that's outside factor I can control with the city or the county or with the weather or with the market interest rate. They have to constantly worry about that.
Okay. In today's market, how do you evaluate risk versus reward in deals?
So all good investing starts with the assessment of risk. So if you want to learn about risk or about anything in the financial world, you got to look at big institutions and how they think and how they act. So how do you assess risk? You have to study insurance companies, how they do it. So they have a formula. Risk, reward, probability, and then impact. So if somebody's writing down, and I know you have followers and stuff, if somebody's writing down, write this down. Insurance companies. Risk, reward, probability, impact. So my risk is going to be $500,000 in that deal. The reward is going to be, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to get my $500,000, make $1 million. The probability of me making it is 50-50, because there's some risk here. The market may not move. There's this guy supposed to come in, he's going to increase value, but he may not come in, he may not sign. There's probability is 50-50. The impact will be if I lose that $500,000, I'm wiped out. End of story. I don't want to do it. Oh, $500,000 would be nothing. I got 50 million. Okay, then no problem. It's worth a little risk there. You see my point? Yeah. So the impact is what people need to know. And let's take it to the smaller level. Your cousin comes and says, Cedric, I need $10,000. So the risk is, okay, I give him the 10,000. The reward is it's great for the family. Everybody's going to know I'm going to help my cousin. And the reward is he said he's going to give me the 10,000 back plus 2,000. That's 20% return in 1 year. He's going to do it. So risk reward is good, but then the probability of him paying me back is not good. He's losing his job. I have history with the guy not even showing up. He says 10 o'clock, let's meet for breakfast. I know it's a little late. Let's meet. He doesn't show up till noon. Okay, so probability is not going to pay me back. So what's the impact? You know what? The impact is nothing for me, 10,000. I don't help my cousin anyway. I'm just going to give it to him and say, don't worry about it. You pay me, you don't, it's fine. You see my point?
Yeah.
Or you know what? I can't afford 10,000. Hey, listen, Joe, you want to borrow from me? I'm going to give you the money, but I want security. I want that motorcycle you have free and clear that's worth 20K that you want because it's your toy. I want the deed for, I want the pink slip for that. You see? So now we finished with the assessment of risk. How do we manage risk? Let's talk about banks. So if anybody's writing down, write banks. What collateral will I take? Can I get insurance? Can I pass on the risk by having cross collateral? For example, when I lease to tenants, I tell them indemnify me. I did a lease with the company, the Swiss company called Invicta for watches. So we signed a lease for 15 years and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I said, okay, but also I'll pass on the expenses, but I'm passing on the risk. I said, this clause says that they will have business insurance and they indemnify me as a landlord, that if somebody slips and falls or somebody gets in a fight in the store or something, I'm indemnified. So I manage the risk by getting a collateral, a corporate guarantee, an insurance, a cross collateral, indemnification clause. Are you with me on this? So assess the risk, manage the risk. You're going to have the best of what insurance companies do, what banks do. The bank can look at you and say, Cedric, we love you, man. You're great. You've been doing so well in the past. You look great. You're always so energetic. We love you. But we need to record the lien on your property. It's not going to be just like, hey, handshake. Why? They manage the risk. So that's my 2 cents worth on risk, reward, probability, managing the risk and reducing it.
So, new administration just came in. So with shifting economic conditions, how do you see the commercial real estate market evolving, say, over the next 12 to 24 months?
Okay, great. Let me preface this by saying, when it comes to politics, I really think every president coming in wants the best possible. He wants to be recognized as somebody that is heroic for life. I mean, it's impossible to reach a president level and be a bad person. I just really don't believe that. I believe there is a lot of love and there is a lot of energy in the world. Okay, that's my belief. Even though the country is divided, Democrats, I don't care really. All I care for is to understand what's the policy of this person. So once you understand their policy, you know how to position yourself. Don't fight it. People go on Facebook wasting their time back and forth. I almost got sucked into this, like Zelensky and this, and it's happening, and why are we into this? And it's like, look, man, what are we going to understand from this? Because we don't know the big picture. We don't know how it's going to affect World War III and all this. We like this, we don't like that. So take, for instance, just to understand this, when President Clinton was in charge, he introduced Internal Revenue Code 121 that said, that code, it was thanks to Clinton. He said, if you live in your home for 2 years as your primary residence out of the 5 years you're going to live, if we look back, you can then sell it and have up to $250,000 tax-free profit, capital gains tax-free. If you're single, if you're married, $500,000 tax-free. So anybody listening to this policy and understanding the policy, whether you like Clinton, you think he's an honest man, he cheated on his wife, he didn't do this, he ruined this Monica Lewinsky, poor girl, whatever he did, that's all for me noise. I'm just listening how it's going to affect the business I'm in.
There you go.
Section 121, Internal Revenue Code, that, believe it or not, many people don't even know it, create a bonanza in real estate. All right, so now let's fast forward to Bush. When September 11th happened, very unfortunate event worldwide. I mean, it just made us all stop. I remember looking at books in the bookstore. I said, these books are all irrelevant. These are all before September 11th. What is going on with the world, etc. But if you then understood the policy after that, when Bush said, I'm going to create home ownership like we've never had in the United States. And during his time, it went up to almost 70%, was 67 points up, which is the highest ownership level we've ever had. Okay, so how did all this happen? What happened is he said, I'm going to lower the interest rate. I'm going to give all these credits. I'm going to give all these benefits. I'm going to create all these opportunities. And anybody in real estate that would have understood what's going to happen would have made a killing in 2012, 13, you see, because that was the recovery, you know what I mean? So when you understand the policies, one more on Obama, for example, Obama created Reg D 506C. He is the one that said private funds can now publicly solicit and force the SEC to do it. I don't think he gets much credit for it. And it's one of the biggest things we have ever dreamed of in our lifetime in real estate investing. The rules were from 1933, there was this Reg D 506B that tells you you can set up your own private fund. You don't even have to be high net worth or great credit or whatever. You just have to set up a real estate fund or real estate syndication where you can group investors' money and go buy a property. But you can only talk to friends and family. You cannot publicly solicit. You want to publicly solicit, you got to register and go public. Yet when Obama came and inherited a disaster economy, he said, what's going to make the economy turn around in the United States? Real estate. So he went and fought the SEC and said, we need to do something that can create public solicitation. So they rolled out Reg D 506C. And if you look at the numbers in the United States, in 2015, when he approved Reg D 506C, where anybody listening to this can go set up a syndication to raise money or a real estate fund. A fund is you can put many deals in one structure. Syndication just put like one deal.
Right.
I'm always I prefer funds, which is like many syndications under one umbrella.
Of course.
You look at the numbers, we went into the trillions of dollars in private funds. It transformed the United States. So 2016, 17, 18, 19, it became such a bonanza that they had to increase the rates in 2022 because even after COVID, the market still went up like crazy.
It did, yes.
So my conclusion is Trump is pro-business. Trump created these tariffs which are going to create expenses, which will make the cost of replacement for properties very high. So existing properties are going to go up. There's no doubt. So it may be a little hiccup in the market, and then they're going to drop the interest rate. It's going to spur up the economy. He is no dummy. He's working with the top people. And I think it's going to work to our advantage. And if Democrats that are upset can step back and say, okay, how can we position ourselves here to make things better for the entire country with what he has and what's got going? And the Republicans say, okay, how is this going to affect us in a positive way, negative way? And everybody comes together on what's good for the greater good. We can make a killing with what's coming up in the next few years.
Nice. All right. So what asset classes are you bullish on right now and why?
So I always like to work with big companies. So I like the single tenant buildings because you get big companies like McDonald's, and these guys are always growing. Jack in the Box, always growing. And what they do is when they sign the lease, they give a corporate guarantee. So they guarantee the lease with their publicly traded companies. I mean, that's a very powerful thing. I mean, they can default. So corporate guarantees, triple net, they pay the lease, net of tax, insurance, and maintenance. So I literally get the building, sign them up, and I'm done for 10, 15 years. I don't have to look at the building. I want to visit the building. I have to give them a notice 24 hours. It's unbelievable. It's too good to be true. Better than any bond. Okay? So I like these type of buildings that have big national tenants.
Okay.
Signed up. Now, many people don't understand that, and they say, oh, it's too much risk. And actually, your risk is low, especially if it's a good location. So that tenant leaves, they already rehab the place. You bring another tenant for more money. So, and people always eat. QSRs, quick service restaurants, have done well even during COVID. That's how resilient they are. I like that. Number two, needless to say, apartment buildings are pretty good because people need to rent. And if you have the good location, and let's say you have a bad location, let's start with a bad location. You can do Section 8. Section 8 is so generous. I know Trump may be cutting it and all this, but still, they just trim the fat. The core of what has to happen in the country will continue because the country functions that way. It functions based on all the good stuff. The poor need some help. And these people need some that, this. All right. Some people dramatize what's happening, but the reality is understand the policies and what's happening. Section 8 is going to continue. Find a maybe Class C building, get the rent steady. You got the cash flow. These people, the rent is getting paid by the government. The government comes and inspects the units. They don't want to mess with the unit because they're going to lose their vouchers with the Section 8. So Section 8. So that's Class C. Class B, look at the ones that you can take and improve over time with the current interest rate, and you have an upside. So those are always good. Number three, believe it or not, I like hotels. You can negotiate better cap rate, better returns, And number two on it, you can work with the sellers with the seller carryback. It's very common to work creative deals in hotels, and you buy it with an existing team. This guy's buying the hotel from me, and it's a small hotel, but he's got the whole staff, 16 people turned over to him. Like he's from New York, he's buying it in another place, but he's got the whole thing run up and running. So he literally just buys like a cash flow thing.
Right.
So, and then other than that, of course, storage facilities are good. If you know the storage facilities, you can automate the entire storage facilities. I don't think there are any bad assets.
Okay.
They're just bad locations. Bad locations, so people have to watch for that.
I like that. So as a fund manager, what strategies have worked best for attracting and retaining investors?
The best strategies is to do it through education. So I believe you attract the money by educating the investors. Here's what I do. But then how do you educate them? If you bring a doctor and you tell him, I'm going to take this apartment building, I'm going to split the units, I'm going to convert these the 3 bedrooms into 3 studios and the 3 studios into 3 bedrooms because these has a view in this, and you start complicating it too much about how great you are, what you're going to do, that doctor will be sitting there thinking, I can't do all this. This is way overwhelming. I'm not giving them a penny. I'm going to lose the money. But you make it simple in your presentation. You make it palatable. You're enthusiastic, but you don't say there is no risk. You have to follow the compliance rules of the SEC. Here is the risk. There's always risk, but we reduce the risk based on this structure. Instead of just having one asset, we have, let's say, a fund with many assets. So your risk is mitigated and lowered. We are doing this and that, and we have a team that handles the details. So you disclose without overwhelming the people. I like to do it through education because the whole idea is to tell them, let me educate you on what's happening. If you want to go do it. But we're doing it. And you don't have to give me $1 million. You can give me as little as 25,000 or 50 that's sitting in your self-directed IRA. So we put group investors together because it makes it easier for everybody. I like to do it through education, not through a pitch, just a pitch, a straight pitch. The pitch itself has to be educational so people understand what they're getting into and what the risks are.
So I know that you do have education available. What types of educational programs do you have?
So the best two educational programs really that we have is, number one, we train people on how to find these single tenant buildings. They don't have to have a lot of money. People can work with me in a joint venture. I tell them what buildings to look for, how to talk to the brokers. I give them the proof of funds. So when they talk to a broker to put a deal under contract, they have the proof of fund. I show them exactly how to prepare a package with a little video and what to send by email. They even send me the email first. I bless it, and then they start sending it to the tenants. I even give them a list of 4,500 tenants with who to contact. And as soon as one reply comes, they send it to me, not somebody in my office, me. And we get on a conference call to negotiate with that tenant the letter of intent. And I offer the tenant, hey, we're going to fix the place for you. We'll give you 150,000 because the upside is so huge. Then I pay these people on the upside. So they get the training, they can do it for themselves, or they can do it with me. They're under no obligation to assign the deal to me and get 10 to 15% of the upside. The other training we do is on how to set up their own syndications and real estate funds. We do it for that training is the syndication and real estate funds is a $200 4 sessions. It's like a webinar that I come in live. I explain, what the words mean, what the actions have to be, how to structure it in a way, how much to pay the investors, how much to pay yourself and all this, and how to do it in a way that creates a legacy for your family. And then I take questions throughout the whole thing. I believe in having people ask the questions to iron out anything. And then if they're interested, we'll go set them up with a real estate fund, usually a debt fund where they pay 6 and 8%. All the upside is theirs. People line up. I show them exactly how to pitch. I do the training, and then sometimes we put them together and they do deals with each other. One has the money, the other has the deal, one has the deal. I know some other people really do mass production on this, but we do it like a boutique place. I have my in-house attorneys that we set it up, file it with the SEC, give it to them turnkey in less than 3 weeks, like literally here. And it's not like it doesn't end in 5 years. They don't have to sell the assets. They can keep the assets for life and cash out the investors later. I mean, I'm talking about life-changing for these people that get set up like.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit later on, I'll allow you to put all your information out there for, to get in contact with you concerning that. Now, what are the biggest mistakes investors make when trying to scale in CRE, and how can they avoid them?
The biggest mistake people make when they're trying to scale their commercial real estate is once, you see, there are steps. So first step is you have a strategy.
Okay.
A strategy that makes you money. The second step is to create a structure to house that strategy. So if you're buying apartment buildings and selling them, buying them, improving their income and keeping them, etc., you need a structure. What's the best structure? Not just an LLC, but a syndication or a real estate fund. Because the best way to grow is to grow with others. So the money is in the structure. Because once you have a structure, people come and say, Cedric, I'd like to work with you. Everybody's going to tell you, but can you pay me 7%? I know you're paying 6 over there, but can you pay me 7? But when you have a real estate fund structure or a syndication, you tell people, I'm filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Here's how much we'll pay. So that structure kind of creates that stability for you.
Okay.
Number three is you have to have a system. So, okay, we're going to buy buildings that are between this price and this price. We're going to buy them if they have this occupancy. We're not going to pay more than so much in interest rate. We're going to do this. So the system itself has to bring you predictable returns. So if you have a strategy, you have a structure, and you have a system. Okay. Most people that have these 3 things, I say, I got to scale now. I got to go big. Wait. Before you go big, to answer your question, what's the biggest mistake to grow is don't go from a system to scaling. Go from a system to automating. What's automating mean before scaling? You automate by stepping back and having a team, the tools, the technology, the process, and the training in place that now you have the team doing it and you're just supervising. You're just looking from a distance with supervision, not regular vision, supervision. Then you look, okay, hey, Joe, why didn't you do this? Susie, what's happening with these people? Did you call them back? They're complaining about this and that. Where's the maintenance guy? You're pushing things without being there all the time. You're just like a maestro. They're playing the instruments, but you're stepping back. Now that you automate it, you can scale to the critical mass of the market or critical mass of your capacity. Like, I didn't want to go to $1 billion. That was never my intention. I don't impress people. I don't impress people by wearing an expensive watch. I have watches that are very expensive. I don't wear them. I don't need to impress anybody. I need to stay focused. So what happens is, what's the capacity of a person? I said to myself, at 100 million portfolio, that's plenty challenges, because I have my own inventory of properties as well, because I own my own properties and I have the fund. So then after you scale, the last step is sustainability. You got to be able to get it going for long term, and that will happen with simplicity. Do not overcomplicate. Periodically, you got to scale down again and see, okay, I got to trim the fat. I got to get rid of the people that are not, cooperating with the group, etc. And that's how you do it, from strategy to structure to system, automating it, scaling it, and sustaining it.
That I love it.
Thank you.
So as we start to wrap up here, looking back, what do you hope to leave in the commercial real estate for your legacy?
What do you leave behind really when you go out of anything, even life? You leave people with the goodwill, the training and good philosophies you have that they can continue, good assets that you can leave behind for communities or for your kids, and your prayers. Really, those are the only things you can leave behind. So that's what I hope I can accomplish at the end of time. They're going to say, hey, this guy took care of these buildings. I got them here. My kids can say, we learned so much from Dad, and we're going to continue this legacy. And thank God they're interested in real estate. And why are they interested in real estate? Because since they were young, I tutored the benefits of real estate. And then when they see me dealing with challenges or lawsuits or whatever, I said, it's part of the game. It's a game. You gotta approach it like you're going to win or lose. It's going to, okay, what's going to happen now? Otherwise you get very frustrated. Yeah. Just the other day, I was telling my son, I said, imagine if you're playing football, because he loves football. I said, and you grab the ball and you're running and nobody can catch up with you. Every time they give you the ball, you run. After a while, you're going to say, this is a boring game. There's no tackle. I got no competition. This is boring. If you're serving tennis and every time you ace your serve and the other guy can't even return it, that's no fun. You want to lose sometimes. You want the challenges. Happiness is the conquering of obstacles on the way to achieving a worthy, purposeful goal. So then it creates that excitement. Now, if somebody is a doctor and studied to be a doctor, yes, it's exciting and it's all this, but it's also just draining and you're going to be working a lot. Yeah. But as a real estate investor, you can't even work a lot. You have to step back and let some other people do the development, do the management, etc. So that's the incredible thing about the world of real estate investing and our world and what we can leave behind.
Okay. Well, Cherif, it has been a blast having you as our guest today. As we close out, please tell our listeners where we can learn more about you, get in touch with you, and learn about all the fabulous things you have going on right now.
Thank you, Cedric. Well, I'm easily found. My name is Cherif Medawar. It's right here on the screen. So the best way to reach me is go to cmrei.com, which is Cherif Medawar Real Estate Investing.com. So cmrei.com will give them what we do with asset protection. For example, we have the best asset protection program. We do once a month call where people ask me live questions for 2 hours. They're members, they buy a membership and stay with me. I do a lot of free stuff on YouTube. There's plenty of free stuff on YouTube. I like to help people free. I mean, hey, listen, I used to joke, I say, if it's free, it's for me. That's how I started to learn. Heck, I actually spent all my time and effort, 8 years to learn with a billionaire. And his last wish for me, last time I connected with him, he passed away about 10 years ago. He said to me, Cherif, I just want you to go and impact 10 people the best way you can. Well, I've been impacting thousands through trainings. I like what you do, Cedric. Give me an opportunity to speak, and I learn from you, you learn from me, and that's the whole thing about the world. So cmrei.com. They can email Ashley, my VP. She's been my VP for 20 plus years. Ashlee. Her name is spelled EE. So Ashley at cmrei.com, and you can tell her, hey, I'd love to know more about Cherif and what he's doing, etc. Or Google me, Cherif Medawar. You're going to come up with cherifmedawar.com. Even will get you my website. Easily reached, very easily reached.
Yes, I second that. You're definitely easily reached. You're out there everywhere, training and just teaching the world about commercial real estate. And I love that. And awesome, Cherif. Again, I want to thank you for your time today and all the wisdom you have provided to my listeners. It's greatly appreciated. And I want to thank you, our fans, for tuning into the Service to Syndication podcast, where we want to provide value to you in your investing business. Please tune in to our next episode, where we will interview another fantastic investing professional. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Service to Syndication podcast. We want you to know that we love and appreciate your support, and we are grateful about being a part of your journey to becoming a successful real estate entrepreneur. Please share this episode with a friend who you think will get a lot out of what you just heard. Send it to someone who you know is interested in real estate and dreams of having it all and being the best they can be in all areas of life. And if this was really valuable, share it on your social media stories and timelines. Thank you for watching and listening. Now go be great.